Welcome back to another episode of Carnage Unleashed. As always, Zach, Kev, and now Connor Smith.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Good. How was your day, man?
Pretty good. I've honestly been thinking about this all day. I'm not gonna lie. I knew today was the day, and I've been ready to go. And I love doing stuff like this. I tell you guys that every time I'm here. So now I can tell you every Wednesday.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is hype. Dude, no one is more hyped for this than me. It didn't take long for me to add multiple topics to the Wrestling Minute docket. So I have been waiting for this a long time. I'm having a great day, ready to get into it. Plus, Zach, you did a good job of finding some other topics for us today. I know the wrestling is always at the end of the show. So, folks, don't worry. Don't worry, we're not going to do that it won't be the wrestling hour today, but we've got some very fun stuff to talk about. So I've got my notes handy. I'm locked and loaded. Zach, what about you, sir?
Hey, it's been a nice day. Weather hasn't been too bad, so I can't complain. I'm happy. I'm excited. Connor's here with us. So, wait, what about you, buddy?
I've been good, except for I'm always hot, and my wife won't let me turn back on the AC, so. She's been running fans all day everywhere. But it's good. Finally warmed up a little bit. It was like that fall weather for a while, so which is also nice. That's my favorite. But I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the cold yet.
Not for the cold, but for the fall weather, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for that because it also means football season.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got a good lineup tonight, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about Tony Ferguson. We'll talk a little about Dillon Danis. Obviously, he's causing some trouble. What's new? A little bit of Jon Jones, and then we'll have a little fun with our own little way too early White House card. So diving right into it, we had Tony Ferguson's first win in 6 years, right? And obviously, it's not going to be in MMA. That sucks. It was in boxing. What are your thoughts on this, Connor?
I was happy for him. I mean, I love Tony Ferguson. I think everybody loves Tony Ferguson. I mean, in the UFC, obviously he was a killer at one time, and then towards the end of his career, I was like, please stop fighting, Tony. Like, I did not want to see it happen anymore. And I thought he was done. Then I saw they announced this Misfits boxing. I was like, if anyone's got a chance, it's Tony. And he goes out there, he gets it done. I saw the highlights of it, and I saw the end. I thought it was a little bit early of a stoppage, but I don't care because it's Tony Ferguson. So let's give him a belt and get him a win. It made me happy.
Yeah,
I was happy to see it.
Yeah, it was his first win. It was a TKO victory over, I think I'm going to say this name right, Salt Poppy.
Yeah, that's
You
correct.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. And like you said, it was his boxing debut, which is crazy coming in there doing that. Wade, what were your thoughts on Tony finally getting his first win here?
Yeah, it was exciting because he also was very emotional after that win. He was so excited, and I was happy for him. I honestly, like Connor was saying, I was like, yeah, in the MMA, towards the end of the career, you're like, all right, just hang him up because, I thought he was going to die when he was facing Gaethje. And, yeah, he's just got a heart of a warrior, man. He just keeps going, keeps fighting. He even trained with Goggins at one point. Like,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's like also at the end of his career, it's like, what could have been? Like, I've seen this dude kick metal pipes and bend them, and then he has shades on and trips over a cord, tears his ACL, and doesn't get to fight Habib, which I always wanted to watch that fight.
It would have been so good.
So I'm happy for him.
Good.
Yeah, the crowd was into it too. They were really behind him, and I tend to agree with Connor that maybe it was a little early. Felt bad for Salt Poppy. Of all the highlights I saw, that was maybe the one time he had his hands up during the entire fight, and it still gets called. But yeah, it was good. It was impressive. It took him a little bit to get going. He was collecting data in that first round. Even in the highlights, they catch a piece of the commentary where the play-by-play guys say, we're waiting for Tony to do something here, and he just was kind of feeling it out. And the Salt Poppy guy, he threw a lot of lead hooks, went head hunting a lot, but did work the body a little bit. So he looked pretty good. And Tony, despite his unorthodox approach, you got those MMA guys, he said himself he was going to have to consciously be thinking about not throwing elbows, and even in the commentary, they would talk about his stance a little bit. And you guys know this. It's a different stance, right? When you have an MMA stance to a boxing stance, and you can kind of see that a little bit, but the consistency of it, I was very impressed, because even though it was some unorthodox striking, like you wouldn't show an amateur boxer any of this tape unless it was just to say, some kind of message of, hey, listen, if you got it upstairs, you can figure it out. Still, it kind of reminded me of guys like, if you've ever, when you were younger, went to the YMCA at lunch and you would play, and there would be that old dude who could barely move, but he would not miss from the mid range. You know what I mean? Just nobody could guard him. He comes out there and he's just dynamite, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, because he's still got it up here, and that can overcome some physical ailments. I can't get you there forever, but I was impressed and happy to see him get the win. And he is already being called out, Zach, by the owner of your next topic. He's on the list. All these Dillon Danis call outs coming up soon. And let's keep Tony Ferguson on that list, because that's one of the guys Dillon wants to fight. So.
Well, of course, Dillon is, because
right away.
Well, might as well jump right into it. Dillon Danis calling out Islam for a fight. I want. Wait. What are your thoughts on this firsthand? Because you're the one who brought this to me in the first place. So, I want to know, how do you feel about this with knowing his history?
Oh my gosh, he's such a troll. Like, he's fought like nobody's, and just constantly trying to call out people. But I mean, there is a storyline that could be made with Islam, but Islam would wipe the floor with him. There's levels to it, and Danis is nowhere near Islam's. Oh, it's crazy.
Connor, what's your thoughts, man?
That would never happen. If it did, Islam would absolutely destroy Dillon Danis, and Dillon Danis knows that. That's why he would never actually do it. He's what the kids call today a rage baiter. He's trying to get you mad, is what he's doing, and it works. He's so good at it. He gets so many people upset just by tweeting anything he wants, no matter how crazy and unethical it is. But it gets people talking. We're talking about him right now, so I guess it's working for him. So, but no, if that ever happened, not a chance in the world Dillon Danis would survive that fight at all.
I mean, you got to stay relevant, right? I mean, he did this back in Conor McGregor era as well. So, Kevin, what do you think about calling out Islam now?
It's I have to just retweet a lot of what Connor just said, but it was funny watching him do it, because I watched about a 7-minute clip of this that included this call out on top of him claiming that he has a list of former UFC fighters that he's been this close to boxing at Misfits. But according to him, their agents would tell them to take the money, but that they didn't want to fight him in MMA because he's 2-0 and he might get a submission on them or something. And they don't want to lose their legendary status by losing to Dillon Danis, which that part, there might have been some truth to that part. But I mean, I also don't know if I buy that 7 different pro fighters all turned him down, and none of it was about money. None of it was about anything other than they were afraid to fight Dillon Danis. So I think he is an Olympic level troll. He does it just like so effortlessly that it can be fun to watch, but I'll be surprised. I mean, who did he end up just fighting? He has a fight, right, for Misfits coming up, and it's not. I don't think
that's what he just had the one.
That's right.
But next up, I don't know what he's doing, honestly. I mean, like I said, they had Eddie Hall in the ring with him too. He was saying if Eddie Hall could get under 300 pounds, he'd fight Eddie Hall. So who knows what's next? I heard them say that if Eddie Hall does get under 300 pounds, they would sign that and do it. So let's see if that happens. That'd be insane.
That'd be stupid.
I can't wait to see Dillon in a wrestling ring. You know?
Oh my God.
That's where he's meant to be. He can be a good heel in NXT.
Ultimate heel, yes.
Yeah.
Ultimate heel.
Well, talking about heels, we go right into Kevin's favorite heel in the entire world, Jon Jones. Jon Jones off the hook here, boys. His case dismissed. Let's start with Kevin. I'd love to hear his thoughts on Jon Jones and him getting away once again.
Wouldn't you know who won the pony? Look at that. Who here is shocked to find out that Jon Jones is out of any legal trouble? I, for one, am shocked. What they say is it's a fool me 5 times, shame on somebody. I don't know. But at this point, I am not shocked by any of this. What I am shocked by, though, fellas, is that I seem to be on an island that is increasingly shrinking when it comes to my thoughts on Jon Jones getting back into the octagon. It does sound like Dana White is still on that island with me. But when the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel Cormier is out here on a hot microphone in front of a live audience saying things like Jon Jones has to be on the White House card, I don't know what plane of existence I am living on now, Zach, because if even DC is like, hey, man, I mean, if we're going to have a card on America's front lawn, Jon Jones is probably going to have to be on it, right? And so I may have to back down from my stance of no more Jon Jones because look at what he's done because, well, as we talked about when I was so upset about him hijacking the heavyweight division, we don't have a lot of stars there right now, partially because the face of that division ran and hid for a couple years. But, you know, it seems like I am on the outside looking in here, Zach. So I guess I just have to admit defeat. We got to bring back the GOAT.
Oh, man. Whoa.
Yeah, we got to do it.
You got to feel all right?
Oh, wow.
I did have a fever this weekend.
I think it's getting to you.
Wade, what is your thoughts on Jon Jones getting off the hook?
Yeah, you know, he's always into something. And this one, with the facts that I read about, it kind of seems like he really didn't have nothing to do with this one. It was like a drunk woman that was naked from the waist down. And she claims that he hit him and ran off, or her, hit her and ran off in the car or whatever, hit and run.
Something he's never done before.
Yeah, I know. He's done that before.
Yes.
But they got like cell phone records and it showed that his phone pinged nowhere near the scene of the crime. So, I mean, that's pretty solid evidence if he had his phone on him.
Yeah, I mean, true. God, your thoughts on this?
I don't feel I've ever got to share my feelings on Jon Jones on this show before. I am a D1 Jon Jones hater. I cannot stand Jon Jones, dude. I cannot stand Jon Jones.
Him and Kevin are going to be best friends.
This is amazing. You guys have no idea what you've done.
Literally, I swear. I mean, I've been hating on Jon Jones all the time, man. Like, the whole thing. I mean, I will agree. Jon Jones in his prime, the best fighter ever. Talent-wise, just incredible fighter. I'll give him that. Horrible person. He's not a good person. He's not a good person at all. And then he's cheated. He's been caught cheating multiple times. He's that good. He doesn't need to cheat. I mean, he's naturally like DC would say it all the time. He's like, you're too good. You don't even need to be cheating. And I fully agree with that. I don't like Jon Jones for that reason. And then I can't stand the ducking of Tom Aspinall that he did forever. I was so mad when they set up him versus Stipe. That was the most pointless and dumb fight the UFC has made. There was no need for that. Stipe should not have been fighting. Jon Jones should not have been fighting anyone but Tom Aspinall. It was all for the money, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But it's just, when it comes down to it, it should have been Tom versus Jon Jones. And I think right now, if that happens, Tom Aspinall would beat Jon Jones. I fully believe that right now. Now, I'm not saying prime Jon Jones. Everybody gives me crap like, Jon Jones. Yes, he's good. He was really good. He was the best of all time. right now, him versus Tom Aspinall would win and retain his heavyweight title, not Jon Jones' heavyweight title.
Well, I think this brings us right into our next segment, which will be perfect. Way too early White House card here.
Yes.
And let's bring on.
There it is.
let me. There we go. We don't want to block Connor's face there, but right there, second fight down. All right, now I took this from somebody who built this already, so I figured we just kind of go through it. You've got Tom Aspinall I can't talk, against Jon Jones, which I think, that would sell this card alone, in my opinion. Like, forget everybody else, take everybody else off it. You have that as a headline, that's going to sell it right there. Period.
Hands down, it's what the fans want.
Yes, you might be overdoing it with this card. Like, this is the kind of thing that, you do it because it's the White House, but I think, Zach, Wade, you guys correct me, but I think if you're booking this, you'd be like, oh my God, these are main events. Like, I've got a month's worth of main events right here, and I've got to put them all on one card. And knowing that Jones v. Aspinall and then 12 undercards of dudes like me off the street would sell just as many tickets, because Jones v. Aspinall is what the people want.
That is true.
So it's kind of like, damn, dude, this sucks. It sucks. If you're the guy behind the scenes trying to make money off this thing, you're like, damn it, man, why I gotta load this card up like this? Can we have this terrible idea?
Yeah, I feel like this card has to be like UFC 300 level or higher. Like, you get an opportunity to be on the White House lawn, it has to be a knockout.
America's 250th birthday, man.
Yeah. It's got to be a knockout card. Like, just top to bottom, just killer fights. Got to have a moment like Holloway and Gagey.
Oh, absolutely.
But got a question for you. Tom Aspinall versus Jon. Dana White has visibly said he doesn't trust Jon. Do you think he would crack if he could lock in Jon Jones to fight?
Yeah, hands down, yeah.
Money talks.
Talks.
Money talks, and also, 100% money talks, but it's also like it's on the White House lawn, so there could also be some other outside factors of like, like you said, this needs to be the biggest event ever. So beyond the money, like, he's, as much as I also have disdain for Jon Jones and hate the fact that he is one of the best pound for pound, because it's so many other people deserve it more. There's fewer fighters. It's hard for me to think of, 5 guys right now that would sell more tickets than him, right? So, like, you need to have someone with that name recognition, if they're willing and physically able. Like, they kind of have to be on the card, I think, don't they? And at that point, Dana didn't get here by doing bad business all the time, all right? Power slap aside, he makes a lot of good decisions despite what he might personally want to do. And I've heard him, how many times we heard him cave on this? He caved on the lower weight guys. They were never going to be there. Women were never going to be in the UFC. But guess what? When the money came around and it made business sense, he made the best business decision. And I just trust him to keep doing that, because that's who he's shown me he'll be. So I think if push comes to shove, Jon Jones is going to be the co-main, at least, if not the main event on this card.
Exactly. I mean, Connor, what's your thoughts, buddy? I mean, you think does this need to be on the card? Like, you know what I mean? Does that fight need to be on this card?
I think it would certainly help, but I think it would have to be, you can't have, you wouldn't have Jones and McGregor both. There's no way. I don't think that would be able to happen, especially with those two, because somebody's got to be the main event. Somebody's got to not be the main event. And if you got both those two guys on the card, they're both going to want to be the main event. And so I think that'll be a problem on its own as well. But with a card like this, it's going to be a lot of casual fans watching it. So you do got to put name value on it. Like, I feel like that would help as well. Putting these big names like the fights that we have on here right now would be very helpful. But I do believe if Dana White could make it happen, he would make it happen, because at the end of the day, he still loves Jon Jones. We know Dana White loves Jon Jones, so he'll find a way. He's gonna have to shell up a lot of money for Jon Jones, though. But if anyone will do it, it's Dana White. So, but
well, the thing that I've got a problem with is why should Conor McGregor get the main event when this is supposed to be for America? This is supposed to be for the 4th of July. So don't you think your big headliner should be somebody who is from America and fights for America's banner instead of the Irish banner? So in my opinion, Conor shouldn't be the main event. That's what I would say. So if I had to pick between Conor and Jon, I'm going with Jon Jones as my main event.
If we're celebrating America's birthday, it almost has to be USA versus UK, right? Like 1776 will commence again. You know?
yeah.
With Alex Jones, guest color commentator for the main event.
Oh no!
I don't know how I would feel about if they're doing that as a main event, and then the guy representing my country is the great human being of Jon Jones.
Yeah,
that's rough. That's rough when good guy Tom Aspinall's on the other side.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
But no, McGregor should not be the main event if they were to do this. I mean, like I said, for the casuals, they would love that. But like, if it's about the U.S., they're going to obviously push the U.S. since it's on White House lawn. Yeah, you need to. I mean, Michael Chandler's there, but I don't even want to. That's another guy I don't even want to get into right now either.
I wouldn't even have that fight. I wouldn't have Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. You know what I would have? You know which fight I would put on there against Conor McGregor? Nate Diaz 3. Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz 3. That's what I'd want to see.
I like that.
You just want to see the Stockton slap.
Heck yeah!
Yeah, he's been in a mode.
Fight!
Thank you for the comments. I love that quote. That's great.
Dana White, probably.
That was my dad too, by the way, on that comment. Shout out my dad. I knew he'd be watching. That's awesome. Oh man.
Yeah, Conor Chandler. The only reason why that is speculated is just because it was hyped up for so long. Conor
forever
too busy playing in the snow for too long, never got back to the ring. But that's we just throw another storyline in there to make it a big hype.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a real dream card because you'd have to be dreaming to believe half of these fights are going to actually happen.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Especially at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, right?
You move on down, you got old Patty Batty here versus Justin Gaethje.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's
what you'd want to see that one right there?
Man, yeah, I've been doubting Patty. I've been doubting Patty for a while, but man, he just keeps coming up and
I think Patty'd win that fight. I think he'd beat Justin Gaethje if they fought right now. I don't think there's much left for Gaethje to do. I know he's been like trying to say he should get a title shot. He does not want to fight Ilia Topuria. I know he don't want to do that. So this would be fun for him. Give him a cool fight on the White House card, and there's a good chance if this were to happen, all this hypothetical stuff, this would be probably Justin Gaethje's last fight, I'd assume.
That wouldn't be a bad one to retire on. Honestly.
No, absolutely not.
Especially the card and everything. That would be a good one to retire on. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and then let's move on down to the next one. Sean Strickland, fresh out of anger management against Israel Adesanya.
Fresh out of anger management.
Man, dude, another one where I might not be rooting for Team USA on this one. I like this fight.
You know what? I like these guys because they stir the pot and they make the UFC interesting. Like Jon Jones, I love him. He stirs the pot. It gets people mad, gets people angry, gets more people involved. Same thing with Sean. Sean is an idiot, and he says a lot of stupid things. But because of that, it makes me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. It makes me laugh. Him making an ass of himself humors me.
This card, it's interesting because there's 3 fighters on here that I would probably consider my 3 most hated fighters in the UFC. I can't stand Jon Jones, I can't stand Michael Chandler, and I can't stand Israel Adesanya. All 3 of them, I can't stand them. So this would be very interesting if all three of these guys were to share a card together. But
kind
him
of
and
have a
Strickland
really
is
big
fun.
parlay on that one.
Oh yeah, I'd probably lose money betting with my heart.
I would like this
though.
fight, but this would be, I mean, the press conference would be more exciting. I can tell you guys exactly what happened. Sean Strickland would point at Izzy and he'd say, I'm going to make you a promise, brother. If you make me a promise, we go in there, we fight to the death like warriors. We die on our shield. And then we'll watch Sean Strickland never get out of first gear. For 15 minutes.
Yes, dude.
And that will be that, dude. Like the guy, he gives it his all when he's sparring Sneeko or some other kick streamer. But when it's time to fight a real money fight, he just kind of stays in that shell. And obviously I feel like there could be more there. But at this point, he's the boy who cried Warrior's death. You know, I'm tired of hearing it. Just go out and show it to me one time and I will believe you again. In the meantime, cut it out, dude. You got to stop. Great mustache, though.
How do you guys think that fight would go if they had a rematch? Who do you think gets that one?
I think Izzy.
Yeah, honestly, I think Izzy would get it.
I think Sean Strickland's best ever performance was the first fight with him, and then he hasn't fought the same since.
No.
It's like he doesn't care. He's too busy being famous.
Yeah.
Although Izzy, he's
looked rough.
A glass jaw right now.
Yeah.
So maybe he gets a lucky punch in there, and
that'd be an interesting fight again. They should do that though, honestly. White House card or not, that's a good fight to make.
I think so.
Yeah. Once Sean Strickland's no longer suspended.
Anger management.
Yeah, once he's allowed to fight again.
I heard one of his punishments were he had to coach a women's wrestling team or something.
I heard that too.
Wasn't there a group picture of him standing with all of them, and he's
he's an American singlet.
Yes,
he's just looking miserable.
Looks so mad.
Priceless.
Oh,
make that my desktop background. I think
he's hilarious. Good thing he's funny because his fights bore me.
I agree. And he's a stand-up fighter.
Yeah.
Well, and then we go off to Sean O'Malley versus Henry.
Cejudo. Yep. Triple C, they call him.
Triple C.
Wait, what's your thoughts on this bad boy?
Two big names. I don't think it's a good matchup, though. I think it would probably be more of a boring one just because Henry's a wrestler. Sean sucks at wrestling.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, I agree with that.
Classic stand-up fighter versus ground guy.
Yeah,
but you don't think Sean's got a good enough takedown defense to be able to defend against Henry?
No, that's how he lost his belt.
I think he'd have a little more success with Henry than Merab, but I could see a Henry Cejudo 30-27 across the board winning that fight.
I think so.
Yeah, I think Sean probably lands a couple of good ones, and then anytime he doesn't get a chance to do that again. You know,
you'd have to catch him coming in or something on a shot, some kind of knee or uppercut or something crazy. Other than that, his back's going to be on the ground.
Exactly.
Sean, I can see Sean trying to pull something like that off, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm not just saying he's going to succeed, but I can see him trying to pull it off.
Oh, he definitely would try, yeah.
So.
Although I do think it would be a good fight for Sean to take just to test, his wrestling ability again. Because, Cejudo, he's an Olympic wrestling champ.
Yeah.
But he's Asian. He's not going to have the tank of freaking Merab.
No.
So, it could benefit his skill set, but
yeah.
I definitely I think Cejudo pulls that one off.
That'd be the safe bet, yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, it'd be good testing for him, but a lot of these guys don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to test. They just want the money fight.
Although I love me some Sean O'Malley. He cracks me up, and
he's funny. Yeah. I do like I said, if this press conference, hypothetically, they wouldn't even get to ask one question with all these guys.
Oh no, you wouldn't be able to get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, not a chance.
I mean, you'd have Connor probably picking on Jon Jones just because he can.
Yeah. I don't think Tom
Connor would
Josh
be booking
Strickland.
it. He'd be talking shit to anybody except who he's fighting.
Everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. He wouldn't even know that he's fighting Michael Chandler. He'd be talking on everybody else.
Yeah. And Chandler's over here trying to get Connor's attention. Look at me.
Yeah, screaming at him into the microphone.
I still think it'd be better with Nate Diaz there. I'm sorry.
It'd be fun. I think it might as well. I mean,
I'm telling you, I want it. I want the trilogy. I just think that press conference with all these guys and Nate Diaz involved, because Nate Diaz he wouldn't give a shit. And that's what I love about him.
yeah, no, that would be funny.
He'd just be sitting there, everyone else talking shit, and then they finally bring him in it. He'll just shut up. With his weird little, I can't talk like him, but.
I'm gonna say going into that last fight, I think 100% probably gonna be on this because Colby Covington is Trump's
boy.
Yeah,
yeah,
America through and through.
America.
Yeah,
so I think he gets on this card for sure, and I think this is probably the most realistic fight that could happen. We could see. It's like Covington, Kevin Holland. I think it'd be a great fight, honestly.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one.
I'd watch it. Now, speaking of this card, do you guys think since they did the deal with Paramount Plus and CBS, right? Because CBS owns Paramount Plus, or is it ABC? Yeah,
it's CBS. Yep,
CBS. So I think that this whole card happens, and you've got something close to even this, it's going to be broadcasted on CBS on 4th of July, live, free for everybody to watch.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, I think it would have to be because that, at least for the UFC portion of the business, that's their biggest draw, right? Is an opportunity to get into a lot more homes and create new fans, have this iconic, have it be a thing where we don't really have that as much these days, but our parents knew about it. Our grandparents certainly knew about it. Event television, where it's like that, the Olympics or something, where it's like you can bank at 80 to 90% of homes are watching this right now. And it's what they're all going to be talking about. Now we all just kind of consume things at our own pace whenever we want. We catch the highlights on YouTube, yada, yada. This would be one of those moments where you would think that even a lot of casual fans would have it on, even if it's just on in the background of their cookout. And so I think they would have to have it on CBS. That would be sort of the whole get for them, because even if they're streaming it to their app or something like that, I just don't think that has nearly the reach that would make any of this worthwhile for them. But then again, it gets a little messy when you're doing it on the White House lawn, right? Like, is your bottom line actually the top priority when you're doing that, or is it going to be? But again, it being a patriotic celebration deal makes me also think it will be on cable television, that even bums like me who still have an antenna screwed in the back of their TV will be able to watch this.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at ESPN. ESPN had like a little mock-up of their idea for this card. The fight that I like would be on early prelims. I feel like it has to happen. Is at least get Jim Miller on here versus Edson Barboza. Or Edson Barboza. Jim Miller has fought in UFC 100, 200, and 300.
Gotta do it.
Throw him on there.
I feel like for America, 250, Jim Miller's got to be on there.
I don't disagree, Wade. You're gonna have to fill it. I feel like this is gonna be a massive card. This is gonna be like the prelim start at noon or something.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a full day, and that you'll have to watch on Paramount Plus or something. They'll make you. That's how they'll get you. They'll get the sickos.
Figure something out.
Yeah, like you can only watch this on our app.
Yep,
we'll be there.
Yeah. I mean,
Go ahead, Zach.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, here's another fight. Instead of Patty Gaethje, Patty Max Holloway for the BMF title.
Okay. See, I like that better.
Can I ask your guys' opinion on the BMF title? How do you guys feel about the BMF title?
It's just another spectacle. I mean, let's be honest. That's what it is. It's hopefully it's to get two guys who are going to beat the living crap out of each other for however long it takes to knock the other one out. That's what I want to see when I see the BMF. I don't want to see grapplers. That is, to me, that is not a grappler's belt. That is I'm going to knock you out belt. And I like it just because that's what it should stand for. And when it doesn't stand for that, that's when I'll start disliking it.
Oh yeah. I think so too. I think it's for just a barn burner fight. You just go in there, you're slinging hands. If you are going to take down, you got to do some rampage slams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for a spectacle. It's like, hey, this is supposed to be a fight of the night kind of belt. Let's see that. Go in there. You'll get paid, and you'll get a belt.
As long as they don't start branching out, I'm fine with it. As long as it's, if we start having like every division has its own BMF belt, then I'm going to start to be like, all right, guys, we're getting a little too gimmick heavy here. But I'm fine with it. I feel like it is toting a line. It's a bit of a slippery slope, but as long as they keep it where it's at, and I also agree if it's going to be a couple of guys standing in a phone booth, then I'm here for it.
What do you guys think about I know technically Max Holloway has it. Do you think he should after getting knocked out by Ilia Topuria, or do you think Ilia should have that belt? Technically it wasn't on the line, yes, but how do you feel about him considered being the BMF after being knocked out with the belt by Ilia Topuria?
I think that no, I don't think he should have lost the belt. But I mean, that was his first time ever getting knocked out. I mean, that does bode well for Islam.
No, that belt should always be on the line. That belt should always be on the line.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah,
24/7 rules. Like R-Truth is carrying it, dude. I don't care.
Hardcore title style.
Exactly. you lose a fight in the parking lot.
I don't hate that idea. I don't hate that idea.
BMF belt, dude.
It shouldn't be his anymore. Anytime you fight, that belt is on the line if you got it.
Especially if you get knocked out too. He got knocked out too. I'm like, dude, if you're a BMF, but if there's someone who's more BMF than you, it's the dude that just knocked you out, is what I would say.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And if I was Ilia, I would totally do what Ilia did too and claim that I'm the champ and get a replica belt. And I think that's great. And that's exactly what he should have done. Because if I was him, I'd be campaigning that I'm the BMF champ over and over and over.
I agree with it.
That's the best use of a replica belt I've ever heard of.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we talking about belts and talking about things like that. I think that leads us into our next segment, everyone's favorite segment, the Wrestling Minute.
Yes.
It's going to be a different experience this time, gang, because we have somebody else who likes to talk squared circle with me. So this will be a Connor heavy segment. We're going to feature your opinions because everybody's heard mine aplenty. So.
I have a lot of them. So.
Well, we'll start with Clash in Paris. That was this weekend's PLE. I believe it was the last one on Peacock. So the rest will be ESPN going forward. What were your thoughts? Did you watch it live? Did you catch all the matches, or how'd you feel about this one?
I missed the first one. I missed Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns. I did keep up with it afterwards, but then I did watch the rest of the show from the tag match all the way up to the main event. I thought it was a fun show. I mean, I enjoyed what they did. If you want to go match by match, if my dad's still in here, he's going to find this hilarious. I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch, and I thought her match with Nikki Bella was not very good. That one was rough, and I've never been a fan of Becky Lynch, even when she was doing the man gimmick. I just never thought she's that good of a wrestler. I don't know. Nikki Bella, I mean, it's Nikki Bella. There's not too much good you can get with Nikki Bella. So I knew once those two were paired up, it was going to be a little shaky. But other than my hate for Becky Lynch, I thought the show was actually really good. I enjoyed a lot of the matches that they did, and I love the storyline that they're pushing with Seth Rollins and putting Becky back into the fold with Seth. And I think that's a good call with both of them being heels and back being full-time. Might as well put them back together. Everyone knows that they're together. Might as well just put them back in storyline as well. So I like that.
It is pretty neat to have a husband and wife in a heel faction together. I don't know if that's
really cool.
Yeah,
done,
dude.
I like that.
Right. Yeah,
I think it's cool.
So to fill you two in, the main event was a fatal 4-way for the World Heavyweight title, and LA Knight and Jey Uso were involved. But the main story here is CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and Punk was about to win when Seth Rollins' wife comes in and low blows him from behind and costs him the title. And so basically what they're doing is they're setting up for CM Punk's wife to also return, AJ Lee. You guys may remember her from back in the day. A beloved superstar in her own right, a bit of a fan favorite, not just because she's married to CM Punk. Like, she has a former champion herself, and they're pretty excited for that. So yeah, I enjoyed the ending. Just when I thought I had about enough of Punk Rollins, or I was like, I know this is going to be a long-term feud, but I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ready for them to go do other things for a little bit, and they'll come back to this probably around WrestleMania time, and they're like, no, we're going to keep it going right now. And they got the wives involved. And if you had told me that cold a couple months ago, I don't know if I'd have been like, oh yeah, it sounds like a great idea. But now that I'm here, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good idea. I like this a lot. This will keep it going. Let's freshen it up a little bit.
I like it. I really do. I mean, I'm more of a fan of. I love heels. Heels are better than baby faces, in my opinion. I love a good heel. Like I said, another joke. Me and my dad. That's who I talk about wrestling with all the time. Is my dad. And one of my ongoing jokes is that I love heel mid-card comedy acts are like my favorite. Those are like my favorite type of characters. So I do enjoy the Becky and Rollins together as heels more than when they did it back, and I believe it was at 2019 when they were doing their thing together, and they were both baby faces. After I believe it was WrestleMania 35, they started running that. I was not a fan of that little run that they did when they feuded with like Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. I love Baron Corbin, by the way. Mid-card heel. Love him. I love Baron Corbin.
Oh man, dude, they put him through the ringer with weird gimmick changes. My
all
God,
the time.
yeah.
And he made the best of it. Happy Corbin, sad Corbin, all that stuff was great.
Yeah, so, like basically homeless Corbin.
Yeah,
it was incredible. So, my final question for you when it comes to Clash in Paris, and then don't worry, Wade and Zach, you two will actually be involved in the next segment a little bit. We're gonna play a little game because much like the White House card, the upcoming WrestlePalooza is maybe something that could be geared more towards some casual fans. So I want to ask you guys a little bit about that. But for a true mark like myself, I got to ask you this, Connor. AJ Styles versus Dom Mysterio. Did you see that on Monday Night Raw? And the follow-up question, do you think that should have been on the pay-per-view? And would you have changed the outcome? So if you didn't see it, you might not see the ovation he got. But AJ in France is pretty wild. Did you catch that match?
Yeah, I saw the highlights of that stuff. I was at practice and stuff when all that usually goes down. But I always try to keep up with Raw and stuff like that. I mean, everybody loves AJ, and they absolutely loved AJ over there. And I believe that is a match that should be on a pay-per-view, especially for being in that feud with the Intercontinental title. And then you got two really good professional wrestlers in that match. You have the most over heel in the entire business in Dominic Mysterio. And then you got a beloved legend like AJ Styles. I do believe that should always be on a pay-per-view. Say over maybe a Becky Lynch match. I don't know. That's just me.
Yes, I'm good. See, dude, we are on the same page. Because once you mentioned that, I was like, I've got the perfect replacement match for that one. A different Intercontinental Championship that the fans would have been into.
Yes.
So guys who didn't watch this on Raw, this was incredible. They have commercial breaks, even though they're on Netflix now, and they absolutely don't have to do commercial breaks. They still insert poorly timed commercial breaks in the middle of matches, by the way.
Money.
Yeah, let's slap a rest hold on him so we can cut to a Papa John's ad, even though we're no longer required. We could do picture-in-picture, guys. Like, there's ways around this, but I digress.
I already don't
what
like
happened
Papa
in
John's.
France, AJ Styles came out, and the French folk, anytime WWE's in Europe, they sing a lot. And then
I love it too.
American audience hears it, and then now we sing the same songs, and it's phenomenal. But they have ones that they only sing for AJ Styles, and it's because they're singing in French, like, you're phenomenal, like, he's phenomenal, and da, 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 da. And they did that for 13 minutes, dude. It came out, they were singing it during his song. They did 5 or 6 rotations of it, cut to commercial break, full on commercial break, come back. They're still chanting. He's just standing in the ring. They're still chanting it. Nothing else has happened. There's no backstage promo. There's nothing. They're just still singing this song to the guy. Like Connor said, he's an icon. He's nearing his retirement run too. And so not only do they not put it on the pay-per-view, but then they have Dom win, which I think there are certain times in wrestling where, long-term booking is important, but especially on some of these, like, almost like a spot show when it's an overseas pay-per-view and you have a legend who's not going to be there very long, who is, for some dude's from Tennessee, but they treat him like he's from France. I love it. I feel like that was the moment they should have just let him win, and then Dom can get his title back in a month. Dom can get that title back from him at any time. 26 years old. People aren't really going to remember, like, oh, AJ only held the belt for 20 days. Nobody cares. Like, just in a business that right now has cashed in storylines for moments, for Twitter views, for all that stuff, it just kind of blew my mind that they missed the boat with this one, where it's like, oh, this would have been the biggest pop. That would have been a WrestleMania size pop if AJ Styles wins that title in France and they put it on Raw and have him lose. So I don't know, man. Sometimes.
Yeah, that was interesting. And like I said, I love Dom Mysterio again, mid-card heel. Gotta love him. But I agree. They could have just given the belt to AJ. Literally could have gave the belt to AJ just so he could have his moment in front of that crowd. It would have been awesome. And then literally WrestlePalooza, you could have had him lose it back to Dominic. Like, it's not that deep. You could have just gave him one more reign to have the moment, and then it looks cool because now Dom's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. Like, you could have just, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have hurt anything. You could have had Dom playing the whole, being a heel, complaining about it, trying to get his rematch, just the classic stuff. Set up the rematch. He can cheat to win, get the belt back, and then right back to where we were. We could have just had a cool moment for AJ right in the middle, and I feel like they missed the boat on that one, but
yeah, you also had AJ following him around for the last 2 months, so it really kind of like having AJ lose that. It's like the stuff you expect them to do when a guy's like not about to re-sign. Like, it's what they did to Karrion Kross on the way out. Like, everything you did meant nothing. You're still gonna lose. Yeah, have fun on your future endeavors.
I still can't believe the Karrion Kross stuff, man. I still can't believe that stuff that they messed that up.
There is no greater sin that a wrestler can commit as a WWE employee than getting over without the writers getting you over. If you get over on your own, you're screwed, pal. They will make it their mission to not write you into stories because it wasn't their idea. And how dare you get over on your own? It's terrible.
Idiots writers.
It blows my mind, dude. Just like, I have to justify my job, and therefore you're not allowed to do this on your own. It's crazy to me. So that takes me now to our next pay-per-view, which is in 3 weeks. There's a lot of reasons for this, guys. One is the new ESPN deal. So they got to get some pay-per-views over there. They got to convert new users to ESPN. Football season's right here. So let's get even more content going. Because of all the 2-night pay-per-views, the WWE had actually fulfilled their requirements with Peacock. They theoretically, this was supposed to be a year-long deal, but they had so many 2-night pay-per-views that they hit the number of PLE events.
Oh, loophole there,
yeah. You get night 1, night 2. So WWE's able to get out early, and they're going to ESPN. But It should also be noted that the WWE has been actively counter-programming AEW, and they once again have booked a pay-per-view on the same day as All Out Toronto, which is where Edge and Christian return as a tag team. Sorry, Adam Copeland and Christian. Because
yeah,
Cope. Thank God he stopped doing that.
Oh, that's horrible.
So WrestlePalooza not only needs to sell some ESPN app buys, but it's got to dunk on Little Brother. So here are some of the proposed matchups for WrestlePalooza, and I want to see eventually, you know, Connor and I will talk about our thoughts on this, but as you guys being some casual viewers who may have an interest in buying ESPN, I wanted to see, would these names draw you to watch WrestlePalooza later this month? So we're going to save. Actually, you know what? We're going to start with the big one. We've got Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Yes. Yeah, that does it for you, huh, Zach? Right away.
Yeah, I just want to see Brock Lesnar in there again.
He's a yes. He can let you finish.
That's perfect. No, hey, well, that's some good, honest feedback. Well, Wade, what about you? Does Brock Lesnar do that much for you?
No, but I do like me some John Cena, so I'll be there.
Nice.
Okay. So the next one, actually, these other ones probably won't do as much for you guys because it's still some newer stuff. We've got the Usos will be returning as a tag team, one of, if not, you know, arguably one of the most decorated tag teams, at least if you're counting just championships. They've held it maybe the most. They'll be coming back together. And then, of course, we've got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins with their wives coming in for a mixed tag match. So does former UFC legend CM Punk bring you guys any closer to wanting to watch WrestleMania?
Is he getting beat?
Oh, man.
I think what's that?
Beat, yes.
He's almost certainly going to lose. No, actually, they'll win this one because the title's not on the line.
Yeah, I was going to say they'd probably win that one.
Yeah,
then
no.
Then
so no, you're not going to watch that. Oh,
not a CM Punk guy.
I'm not.
Connor, are there any other matches for that I'm missing that I'm not thinking of with any big names that ring a bell for you? I know there's Io Sky and Stephanie Vakura fighting, but these two aren't going to know who that is.
What I want to know about is John Cena and Paul going at it in Paris.
Oh yeah, the Clash in Paris. You know what? I would like to hear Connor's thoughts on this one first before I potentially taint the water. What were your thoughts on Logan Paul versus John Cena? Do you think it was a good match?
I enjoyed that match. I think everybody gives Logan Paul hate, and I get it because it's Logan Paul. It's hard to like the guy, but he's really good at professional wrestling. That dude's good, and that match was. I think every Logan Paul match is really entertaining. He's a good heel, and obviously putting him against the all-time best babyface ever in John Cena, I think it's a great pairing. And I thought the match was really good. I enjoyed all the little spots and moves that Cena did to kind of pay homage to the guys that he likes and didn't get to, like he did the Styles Clash for AJ Styles. He even hit the end of days for Baron Corbin, and like he was showing a lot of homage to these guys. And then even in like their post show that they do, he talked about only having a couple matches left, and I'd like to thank these guys that I might not get to work with before then. So I thought that was cool. And then just the match itself was really good. Obviously Cena should win. That was if they would have made him lost to Logan Paul, that probably would have ruined the whole thing. So they got that right at least. I did enjoy that match. I thought it was very good.
Yeah, I was worried about that because especially with it being Cena, the career, team player, I thought, man, he's gonna put this guy over. Like it would do a lot for Logan. Well, especially now. There was a time where John Cena was jobbing out so often, like when Solo Sikoa beat him, and it was like, dude, he's lost 17 singles matches in a row. This isn't helping anybody anymore. Like he just comes back once a year to sell some T-shirts and lose to a young guy. What did it do for Austin Theory? Nothing, not a damn thing.
I hate that. I love Austin Theory. I think Austin Theory's the man,
dude. He deserves so much more.
I was so happy when he won that match.
But I will say this. It was better than I thought it would be, the Cena Logan Paul. I do think, and then there are a couple of minor things that, again, if you're watching it, especially if you're someone like me who's going to watch it when it comes to Logan Paul, of course I found spots where I'm like, oh look, he turned the wrong way. You know, like he's supposed to turn to his right to set up for that move. He did it wrong. But then again, you know, with the Becky and Bella match, you saw that like 4 times in 30 seconds. So you're like, all right, you know, it wasn't super botchy. But the thing is that Cena was calling the whole match, and that's the one thing with Cena maybe being from the old school. I don't know if he ever got quite accustomed to how many cameras were in the ring and how loud and sometimes obvious he can be when he's calling spots and the cameraman's like zoomed in on him.
Yeah. He's notorious. He's notorious for that. Every time I can hear him, like, he can get it together.
Yeah, they're like in the front row. We can hear him. You know?
Yeah, he's loud every time.
It's like, bro, just chill.
Yeah.
And so I do think it was a well-called match. And yeah, I hate Logan Paul probably more than even Jon Jones. But it's unfortunate for me that, yeah, he is really good at it. And because he's so genuinely dislikable, he'll be a perfect heel. I don't know if this is a guy that could ever turn face. He will always have to be a heel, I think.
Yeah.
At least give it 20 years. People can forget about all his crypto scams and stuff like that. And maybe he'll have a chance, but
There's a lot to forget about.
There's so much to forget about, man.
Oh, man.
It amazes me that he can draw money, but yeah, there's few people on this world that I love to hate like that guy. So as long as he keeps doing that kind of work, he's going to be around for a while, and we're going to see that little cart of prime everywhere we go.
Everywhere.
So that was my full docket, a little bit longer than we usually do for the Wrestling Minute, but have no fear, gang, because eventually I think Connor and I are going to have our own show where we just talk about this stuff.
Yes.
And that'll be really exciting. But anything else, Connor? Did I miss anything? Was there anything you wanted to bring up before we kick it back to Zach?
No, I think that covers, like I said, Clash in Paris was just the big thing, and we got, the big storylines on there, and I think you did a good job. I think we covered it well. I think we got it. So,
all right, you Carney's done.
We're done. We're done.
Well, you can always check out more of us here on Carnage Media PPV here on YouTube. You can also check out all of our stuff, all of our articles coming out on carnagemediappv.com, and go and check out there for any upcoming shows like we have coming up here next weekend, which is Sniper Series 2, which will be on Friday, September 12th, and then Carnage Fight Series 4, Route 30 Rumble. You can check that out then. That's going to be Saturday, September 13th. So we have a busy weekend coming up. I'm excited about both those. We get boxing, MMA, plus we're going to be outdoors for that Carnage Fight Series 4. So, come out, check it out. We'll be at Route 30, Harley Davidson, doing it in their parking lot. Do it once a year there. So excited about all that. And plus, we're going to have some boxing coming up, tournament style, that we're going to have to be filming here, which will be interesting. So that's coming in October. So we got a lot coming to you guys. Make sure to stay here, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff so you can check out what's coming up next. Guys, where can they find you? We'll start with you, Wade. Where can they find you, buddy?
Right here with you fellas, Wednesdays, 7:30, Carnage Unleashed. Yeah, like you said, Zach, just check out carnagemediappv.com to check all our upcoming shows. And if you want to watch any past fights, go through our videos here, and we got the playlist set up for you. Connor, where can they find you?
Now you guys can find me here every Wednesday. Get used to this space. I'll be here talking about all things MMA and pro wrestling and everything we got going on. I'm excited for that. Love to share my opinion. I'm a big fan of that, so I'll be stirring the pot every chance I get. You guys can follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active, at I.am_Connor Smith. That's where I'm the most active, posting anything to do with fighting or just anything about me in general. I try to stay as active as possible. You guys can find me there, and I would love to get to shout out all the people that watched. I appreciate you guys coming on here watching. All my teammates back at my gym at Smileback Training Center here in Piqua. Shout out Alex. He did comment earlier. I didn't get to say nothing, but shout out Alex. I knew he'd be on here watching. Yep, there it is. I knew it. I knew he'd be on here watching. So I appreciate all those guys and all my coaches there. And I appreciate you guys for bringing me on and making me a regular here. I love doing this stuff. So thank you guys.
We're glad to have you. Kevin, where can they find you, buddy?
Yes, sir, dude. So excited to have you on, Connor. Looking forward to more episodes. And as far as my excitement levels, gang, they're about to drop way down because right after this, I have to review Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. It'll be fun. Go check out the Dweeb channel where you can hear me complain about things I used to love that now just make me feel hollow. Other than that, you should mark September 27th on your calendar because Benchmark Pro Wrestling is coming back to Carnage Media. I'm very excited for us to record that and slap some commentary on it. It's been an incredible run with those guys. They have some real talent over there, and I'm looking forward. Some of those matchups are starting to be released, so follow them on Facebook, Benchmark Pro Wrestling, to see those matchups announced, and we will be there to film it, and we will be releasing that shortly afterwards. So by the end of the month, probably, or early October. So keep an eye out for that, wrestling fans. Other than that, you can find me right here with the rest of the gang on Wednesdays. Don't forget, turn notifications on so you don't miss any of our free fights, because as we've got these events coming up, we do release those fights afterwards. So if you want to stay up to date with all of the regional action right here, just leave a subscription on your way out, turn that notification bell on. And Zach, thank you, Zach and Wade, for what you do every week putting the show together, brethren.
And thank you. We will catch you guys next time.